Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with Game 6 of the World Championship match between champion Magnus Carlsen and his challenger Sergei Karjakin. Karjakin was white in Game 6, Carlsen was black. Let's get into it. The score after 5 games is 2.5, 2.5. We had 5 draws, 2 quiet games to start with, and then 3 fighting draws in Game 3, 4 and 5. Especially Game 5 was quite an epic battle. Karjakin opened e4 as he has done in every game so far this match. e5, knight f3, knight c6, and we get the Spanish, the Ruy Lopez. a6, bishop a4, knight f6, castling, bishop e7, rook e1, b5, bishop b3, castling, h3, bishop b7, d3, and here comes the first big moment of the game. Carlsen corked out d7, d5, sacrificing a pawn. Peter Svidler, Russian Grandmaster, said, based on recent games, black is very much okay here. And actually, white players are normally trying to avoid it by playing a different move order. So it is a pawn sacrifice, but Carlsen is not taking a very big risk, and of course he had prepared this. The move was first played by an international master from Iran called Harandi in 1970, and he was able to draw some strong grandmasters with black with this move. And then the next time the game was played at the highest level was by Peter Heine Nielsen, Danish Grandmaster, in 2007, and Peter Heine Nielsen happens to be the current second of Magnus Carlsen, so that must be where this move came from. That's why Carlsen prepared it. Okay, Karjakin took on d5 and knight takes d5, and then the pawn on e5 is hanging. Knight d4. Part of black's compensation is a strong bishop on b7, and part of it is that he will be able to take the bishop on b3 and gain the bishop pair that way. Knight c3 developing, and knight b4, putting pressure on the c2 pawn. Bishop f4. What white wants to do is trade pieces and improve his knights, but it's not so easy to do that. Black has a very harmonious setup, has very strong pieces and full compensation for the pawn. Carlsen took that bishop, and a takes b3, and then c7 to c5. And because of the c pawn that is constantly attacked by the knight, it restricts white's setup somewhat. Knight e4, and one of the ideas might be bishop f4 d2 to take that annoying knight on b4. f6 and knight f3. It's a very sharp position, the sharpest position so far of the 6 games. Carlsen played f5. He could have played f5 straight away, but he felt that it would be better to kick the knight back to f3 first and then attack the other knight. Knight eg5, and there's a threat of knight e6 with a fork. And bishop takes g5, and as Karjakin said after the game, from here the game gets a very forced character, very forced sequence of moves, and that's what we see now. Knight takes g5, h6, and going back to f3 is not very good because of bishop takes, g takes, and queen h4, and the white king is not very happy. It's a bit open, and black has an advantage here. So knight e6 is forced. Yes, that is a fork, but Carlsen played immediately queen d5, solving that problem, because there's a mate threat now on g2, so white does not have time to take the rook on f8. f3, guarding against a checkmate, and rook fe8, getting the rook out of the attack by the knight. And now the only move, according to Karjakin, as he said in the press conference, is rook e5. He said that he was lucky to have this move. This move equalizes. You can ask the question, why can you not play knight c7 with a beautiful fork of queen and two rooks? But then there's queen d4 check, king h1, rook takes, queen takes f4, knight takes e8, all very forced, and knight takes c2, and this position is also equal. Although Karjakin probably didn't trust it, and he thought he was lucky to have this rook e5 move, which draws by force. Queen d6 looks a bit dangerous to go on that square. If the rook moves, the queen is suddenly attacked, but white cannot do anything with that. He played c3. Rook takes e6, rook takes, queen takes, c takes b4, and c takes b4. And we have now queen, rook, and bishop of opposite colors, and 6 pawns each, and this game is very, very equal. Rook c1, very logical move, improving his piece, his inactive piece, his bad piece, putting it on a better square. Carlsen does exactly the same. The rooks get traded. Queen e1, queen d7, king h2, a5, queen e3, bishop d5, queen b6, bishop takes b3. There is a rule that the players cannot offer a draw before 30 moves. Well, this is the 30th move, so now they can make a draw. Queen takes a5, queen takes d3. They just wanted to show to the public that it's really a draw. Queen takes b4, and after bishop e6, the players looked at each other and shook hands. So Magnus' preparation held very well. He didn't use more than half an hour of his time on the clock for 32 moves. Karjakin took a bit more time, as he was surprised by this line that Carlsen had prepared. But he was able to find the forcing moves, and it is a very correct draw from both players. Karjakin said in the press conference after the game, "Magnus played brilliantly in this game. I was lucky to have rook e5, otherwise I'm lost. He made a tricky move, he took on g5 and played h6, and it was all forced after that. The score is equal. In some games we could be unhappy." Magnus' opening preparation is underestimated by many players. The match is interesting. We're fighting in every game. Carlsen was a lot happier than yesterday in a press conference. He said, "It is good to get a short day. If I can hold these two blacks, I will be in good shape," because Karjakin is white again in the 7th game. "I played my preparation for many moves. I'm happy I played better today than yesterday. These lines are quite forcing. Fortunately, I was familiar enough with the lines to be okay. Yesterday I could have lost. Today was not the day I should be looking to do big things. I'm quite satisfied with the short game." As you can see from the picture, Carlsen was in a lot better mood than he was yesterday, and also Karjakin was all smiles. The first half of the match is over. 6 draws, the score is 3-3, and we're looking forward to the second half. Hope you liked this summary of Game 6. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment if you want. This is Rick from Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.